So what was your...
1 success and his was 2 successes?
Yeah.
Okay. So it seems like... I mean, yeah, you guys have an initiative slot first. I mean, it's...
Is it like us, him,
it's
us?
alternating.
Oh, okay.
It's him, or it's you guys, him, you guys, the guys outside.
I think I should take the shot because I already have my weapon in my hand, so I can aim. So I'll have like a slightly higher, because we have the same roll other than that. So I think I'll have a slightly higher chance.
Well, I mean, and again, I have the quick draw ability.
Oh, you can do it as an incidental. So ours would actually be, you could still aim. So ours would be exactly the same. Who wants to be responsible for this? Do you want to be responsible for what happens next? Or do you want me to be?
I'll be responsible for taking out the guy the moment I take him out. Or no, you do it, because the moment you take him out, I'm going to try and quickly take control of the ship.
Oh, so you're the pilot of our group, so you can kind of get it up in the air and get us out of here? All right.
Yeah, and plus I can take out some of the troopers who are outside and kind of clear a way for us to get on the ship.
I will take the stun shot at him. It's still close range, right?
Yeah.
I will aim. I will fire. That is 3 success and a threat. So another 12 stun damage.
I mean, yeah, he kind of from like the control console of the ship kind of spins around at all the noise. Kind of goes for the blaster holstered at his side, but before he can get it, like you like stun him, so he like kind of smashes very satisfyingly into a wall, falls over. But again, it seems like at least the stormtroopers stationed at the base of the ramp outside have
heard,
and you hear like hear one of them be like acknowledge that there is suspicious noises coming, and you would hear this as well, as like you don't hear what he hears, but like from where you are, as you're kind of starting to back
we have
up
to come back for
with
you
this
later.
like Inquisitor and like
I don't think we can get you on the
Stormtrooper,
ship. Well, I don't know if we can come back for you. How close are you?
You see one of the stormtroopers behind. You see one of the stormtroopers at the base of the ramp, like acknowledge that like that was weird. What was that? Like, and he's like already sort of starting to like yell for
idea.
It seems like he's starting to raise the alarm that like, hey, I think there's something wrong over here.
To Sklur and get him out of the area, and then we take the ship and meet him back at like.
Yeah, I can remote control a ride to pick you up and meet us somewhere. So we'll just have to wait for you to. You'll just have to wait it out, I think, because I don't think we can sneak you on board the ship at this point.
Unless you have like blasters on the.
We do. But
that would be the only other option. I don't think I'm making my way through all these.
I don't think you can gaffy your way through an entire regiment.
Yeah,
Not yet.
Not yet. I would say just back off. Erickson can get the motorcycle, or Apex can get the motorcycle to you, and then we'll just meet it back where we found Dev.
Okay, that's a decent spot
and we have
off the
radio
beam.
contact, so that's how we know this is happening.
Well, we won't right now, but I will. If you go back to the bike, I will make it drive you to us.
No, bike, go left.
You're trying to drive somewhere else, and it just keeps jerking you around and steering you.
No.
All right.
It's.
I guess I will move closer to the like front, like opening hatch, but I already used my instill in my action, so I don't have anything else. Okay. I don't want to like silhouette myself in it, but I'm going to start moving towards that.
That's to Baxas then.
So, do I do a piloting?
Yeah, we'll start with a piloting roll just to like if you're trying to quickly get the ship like started up.
Credit.
The difficulty.
Average. Because you're kind of you're doing it while you
know
that
I just have to figure it out on the fly.
I'm in a ship I've never flown before, and I need to turn it on quickly.
Well, last 2 rolls, I've just gotten super lucky. Because I have a 3-2 agility, and then I have 2 ranks in space piloting.
Oh, yeah, you're a damn good pilot.
4 success, 1 triumph.
Ooh.
The ship just absolutely comes to life beneath your fingers. You're not going to be able to take off this turn, but you have the ship like fully turned on just over the course of this turn, which obviously has not gone unnoticed by literally anyone in the docking bay. As like the first stormtrooper's like, "What's that noise?" And then the ship turns on. The Inquisitors seem to have noticed. The Stormtroopers all seem to have noticed. So there are going to be 2 Stormtroopers sort of starting to push up they're on the ramp pushing up into the ship.
Okay.
Over the course of this turn. A lot of the Stormtroopers don't seem entirely sure what to do, but a lot of the other Purge Troopers and the Inquisitors start. Well, 2 of the Inquisitors. The one talking to you turns around and looks at the ship, like isn't still staring at you. But she does not run towards the ship. The other 2 and like the Purge Troopers all start running towards the ship. Like she just sort of turns around and looks at the ship. And that's their turn.
I want to push the button that closes the door.
Okay.
Are the Stormtroopers on it? Yeah. Have they made it up there?
They're on the ramp.
They're on the ramp. How fast do those things close? Not dangerously fast, no. I assume? I don't have like a 2-for-1 thing here. I think... I'm going to hit the button that starts to close it as they are moving up, and then I want to move back a little ways to like tuck into a defensive position in the doorway that we just came from, and then I'm going to ready to shoot the first one that I see.
That is taking cover, so they will have a harder time hitting you.
So I will take the cover and I will aim, and I won't get to aim because my instant will be taking the cover, but I will shoot at any of them that as the door raises and they get into my line of sight, I'll fire.
Okay. The one who was after you in initiative order is unconscious on the floor. You guys do still have a ship full of. There are 4.
We will figure it out.
Imperial troops in here. I would like to point out.
Mm-hmm.
So it's to Jerry starting to, or Baxas, I presume, starting to take off.
Yes. Another piloting check?
Yep. If you're trying to do it just as quickly and efficiently as possible.
1 success, 2 advantages.
Okay. It starts lifting a couple feet off the ground as the door is still, the ramp is still open. It's starting to close, but it's still.
Does this count as an action if I were to kind of I hear
angle so they fall out?
I mean, I was counting it as your action to start taking off.
Can you use his advantage to try and do that? You can say no.
No, because I'm counting it as your action to take off, and I don't think if it was a crit, then yes.
If you had
if it was like a triumph, then yes. Yeah. But
that's fair.
Yeah.
Making it their turn, so they push up. They push up into the ship. Yeah, you can use your.
No aim, but still good because weapon when we're close. And yes, 4 success, 2 advantage.
Okay.
So that is 13.
Yeah,
and this is on wounds now.
Yeah. It's a pretty straight shot.
And then with the advantage, I think I can use that to upgrade the difficulty of his shot. I don't know if I can upgrade the difficulty, but I can at least add setback dice. Let me check the chart. Targeted characters next check. No. That's the targeted character, so that doesn't do me any good if I killed him. So I will use it to give myself a blue on my next check.
Okay. And now they get to take a turn. because you just shot one of them before they could shoot back. So there will be one
firing
shooting at you.
And he has one additional difficulty.
Yes.
It-
From
it-
you being in cover.
Yes, I don't think it's a black. I think it upgrades the difficulty.
No, it adds a...
It adds a black?
Yeah, being in
Oh.
covered, it adds a black.
Okay, cool. I don't know.
2 successes.
Oof.
For... I believe the E11 counts as a blaster rifle, or... blaster rifle, blaster carbine, they're essentially the same.
It'll be the
That's
same.
thing. For...
Oof, this might be enough.
10
So
damage.
soak 3, so I take 7.
Mm-hmm.
Oof. I'm up still, but that's a grisly hit. Down to 4 wounds. That, I mean, it didn't quite make the difference there, but me taking toughened is coming in big.
I assume you're just like getting out of there.
You're like, as a civilian, I don't want to be here anymore. I don't
I almost thought I'm almost thinking of like trying to see if I can somehow weasel my way into convincing them that I'm like an undercover Imperial agent. Just something stupid like that.
I mean, they're not paying much attention to you at the moment. So if you want to if you want to run or like retreat, now's
Yeah,
like,
I'll
good
probably
time to
just
do so.
retreat. Yeah.
Some of the stormtroopers are just like firing at the ship. They're not doing really anything.
because it's spaceship.
The two inquisitors that were running for the ship, the one with the heavy blaster rifle stops and takes shots. The other one just stops, and the one that was just standing there that was talking to you is still just watching the ship beginning to take off.
Is it back to me?
It's back around at the top.
Can I shoot before you pilot? Because I don't want the
Yeah.
stormtrooper to go first, or I might die. I'm gonna try and shoot him. I'm gonna aim and I'm gonna shoot him. So blue, roll. Ugh, it's a failure, but 5 advantages.
Well,
I'm going to spend them to just do some things.
Can I roll a crit in 20 rolls? Or how many crits can I roll in 20 rolls?
if it's me, 0.
I'm going to use 3 of them to gain +1 melee or range to gain +1 range defense
Okay.
until the end of the active character.
Until your next.
Until the end of my next turn.
turn.
And then I will spend the remaining 2 to upgrade to add an extra black die to his shot.
Okay.
So basically it'll be what he just did plus another purple and black. Because that's going to upgrade that. That's what
Yes,
defense
that will
does.
upgrade. Well, I think defense might also just add.
So
Defense
just 2
also
more
adds a
black.
black.
Okay.
So yeah, it's you are making it much harder for him to hit you.
But if he hits me, it's like I'm done. I'm down. You might have to
okay. The
finish.
guy
something.
immediately after you is still unconscious on the floor. So it is. It's back around to Baxas. At this point, you don't
Wait
have to
a
make a
second.
piloting check to just like
I forgot to add my extra blue on that attack.
to
I
just
don't get to reroll,
fly
but-
away.
Makes me sad.
By this point, the ramp has fully closed. So you're stuck in here with Stormtrooper.
What would it have been?
But
Can
you're.
Would've
Can
got
I,
it.
can I just turn around and blast, like, just quick draw behind me to try to kill that stormtrooper?
Sure. You can try it. You're gonna have a setback die on it because
That's hard.
Because it's hard to do, but so it'll just be 1 purple and 1 black for difficulty.
5 successes, 2 threats.
Jeez.
So you absolutely blasted. You are no doctor, but this man is dead. He makes a classic like stormtrooper like voice through the mechanical helmet noise. As he dies. But you also seem to have hit a ship system of some kind.
Oh, no.
Like you turn around, fire. He dies. Something sparks, and you feel the ship kind of like jostle.
I can fix that. I can fix that. Just get us the fuck out of here.
So I fire, and then I feel the ship jostle, and I still just fly out, or just get out of the area.
Okay. You on the ground, as you're retreating, you as like all stormtroopers and stuff are still firing at the ship, and you see it like sort of finish its takeoff and like jet off into the sky. Immediately on its tail, you watch a small, light Imperial TIE interceptor come like.
Oh no, we dogfighting now.
Screaming over the top of like the buildings after the ship.
I am going to call up to you, and I'm going to say, can you control the guns from where you're at, or is there a separate gunner station on this hunk of metal?
I don't know. Can I control the guns from where I'm at?
You would have some ability to control the front guns, but there is a like gunner or navigator's chair in the cockpit.
Okay.
Would it control the rear guns?
There should be a cockpit for the rear guns.
So I'm gonna like kind of run up to the hole where he shot through the stormtrooper and hit some panel, and be like, later. Turn and run up there and like slide into the chair and try and take control of the rear guns.
Okay. You appear to be pursued by a
TIE interceptor. So we dogfighting.
Dogfighting.
So do we need to? Is there like new initiative? How do we make this fight happen?
It'll essentially just go back and forth between like because it's essentially sort of each ship has initiative.
Okay.
It's like so like on your guys' ship's initiative, you can each take an action.
Okay. Maybe you just work on like evasive maneuvers so we don't get shot up too bad, and I'll just use the rear guns to fire back at him.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Sweet.
Okay. Well, you gonna start shooting.
Do I need to do piloting checks?
You will.
Is there any difficulty on these shots?
Oh, yeah, that's a good point. But well, I mean, yes and no because it's one.
Yeah.
Because close range is considered like all of the dogfights in Star Wars is close range.
Okay.
They just get one advantage.
Is there a separate chart for space battles?
There is, but it doesn't matter quite as much. It's a lot of, I mean, I'll go to it, but it's a lot of like kind of, well, I guess it's just the like critical. It might just be the critical hit one. Yeah, it starts firing, but it doesn't
land a meaningful blow.
No, it doesn't. You guys
can I fire back?
Yeah.
Is the aim a maneuver in space, or are we just saying no aim? You can't aim in space.
Partially just because you're all like maneuvering around each other so much.
Okay, so it's just it's easy. It's one purple gunner check, and that's just my agility because I don't have any ranks. 2 advantages, but no hit. I can recover strain later. I'm going to just add a black die to his next check, to the targeted character's check. So I'll make it a little harder for him to hit us.
I can find all the goddamn ship stats. You know what? Why don't I just click on the contents thing?
How did we make it this far? I just kind of realized we're flying away in the ship right now. How did this happen?
I'm stuck on the ground. We have 2 officers and 2 purge troopers in here with us.
What I just heard from you is we have 4 corpses and 2 sets of nice laminate armor and heavy blasters on board our ship.
That's also true.
They are stunned, and we will coup de grace them shortly. All this will happen. Maybe we keep I don't know. Maybe we let the Hutt decide what he wants to do with the officers, but
that's
purge troopers need to die.
They need to die. Yeah, they don't offer us anything but trouble.
Maybe I can James Bond
Okay, I'll
level.
be real quick. I'll be right back.
Okay.
Maybe I can James Bond level sleep with some pilot lady to get her to take me.
How'd you get back here?
I had to do some things I really can't be proud of to a fine Gamorrean lass. I did what I had to do.
I see. This does technically have
Square, I have my. I told you I have that my fantasy draft.
Oh yeah.
It's gonna be at 5:30 today. It's a 14-team league. It's gonna be pretty. Only 4 bench spots though, so
The
there'll be
interceptor
some.
stats are in this
My
book,
brother
aren't
can fill that spot that.
So it's an auto draft now.
So he just created an auto draft and he called it.
Automaton draft something. I don't remember.
Yeah, because he said there was some cheap zombie movie he watched one time, and it was called Zombie-tron or something. But he named his coach Vince Zombardi.
Vince Zombardi. Ugh.
Nice though.
That's good. That's good. Can't wait for them to win the league.
I'd rather have that than yeah. Well,
At least a robot will actually just auto make their team the best it can be every week instead of having
I don't know
IR
if he
people
has
and
to
stuff.
go. He was thinking of managing it, but just auto drafting it. I told him you just gotta go in there and optimize.
just click optimize every week, like on Friday or whatever.
Although I guess he's somebody's gotta go in there and do some free agent moves or trades if they want to.
Yeah.
It'd be cool if you just get it.
Alright, what did I miss?
Nothing. If you do you wanna do anything with your maneuver, or are you still just?
Does maneuver? Is there like an invasive maneuvers to make it hard to hit?
That's
a thing.
There are kind of a list of.
I'll
Is
kind of
there
help
any
with stuff.
maneuver I can do that gives Erickson a cleaner shot?
Not really, because it's still just directly behind you guys, and that's where the rear guns are. It's in the fire arc for the rear guns. I found the Starship and Vehicle Combat crit list.
Nice.
Eventually, it's mostly the same.
Ordnance, proton torpedoes. Let's get some of them. Oh, don't do this. Maneuvers. Accelerate, fly drive, evasive maneuvers. Avoid incoming fire collision. Executing this moves upgrades the difficulty dice of the dice pool once for all the attacks made against the ship until the end of the path's next turn. While this makes the ship executing the Starship maneuver harder to hit, it also makes it harder for the ship executing the Starship maneuver to hit anything else. Executing maneuvers like this upgrades the difficulty of the dice pool once for all attacks made by the ship until the end of the path's
The
next
other thing you can do, Jerry, is let me check this number. Is at the moment you have 2 power on your front deflector shields and 1 power on your rear deflector shields. You can reroute those 3 points
to all rear.
To all rear if you want.
Let's go ahead and do that.
Okay. That you don't even need to make a roll for. That you can just do.
Nice.
Alright, all shields are behind us now. Fucking kill it.
Which will make it harder for them to damage you.
To do
but I
what
think
they're
it's still. But it's I guess you took a shot at it.
I took a shot at it. I missed, and so it's got the shields bonus, and I also gave it a black setback die.
Right.
With my advantage.
Which I think I'm gonna need to check this, but I'm pretty sure the shields just. I think the shields are like defense. They just add
They just
more.
have setback dice.
Defense zones. Number of defense zones dictated by the silhouette. Right. Right. Adds black to any incoming attack roll made against this vehicle.
So that could be 4 total black dice added to this attack? If 3 power of shields is there? Nice.
Still 3 success, 3 hits.
3 threats.
3 success, 3 threats. 3 success, 3 hits. 3 threats. 3 success, 3 hits. 3 threats. 3 success, 3 hits. 3 success, 3 hits. 3 threats. 3 success, 3 hits. 3 success, 3 hits. 3 success, 3 hits. 3 threats. 3 success, 3 hits. 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 3 but the ship that you're in has a soak of 3. It is armor of 3, which is soak. So it does. Where's the starship weapons list that I just had open? And why did I close it? Is it? I went too far. Gotta go back. That's why I wanted to do this with a small group, because we don't know the system quite as well. So it's.
I have the chart up for spending the threat.
I need the chart for weapons first.
Well, we get to spend the threat, right?
Yeah. But your ship's still going to take damage.
I'm going to use 2 of it to add a blue to my next attack, and then we'll make him blue. He'll gain 1 system strain.
Medium. You'll gain 1 system strain? Okay.
Yeah.
Laser cannon, medium. You'll take 5 points of damage, which will put you at drop your wound threshold to 23.
Okay. That's a pretty hardy ship.
And it's then your turn.
2 success, 2 advantage. So
Okay.
whatever our heavy cannons do, plus 2 success. The 2 advantages.
So that's with 2 advantages?
Yes.
Okay, so that's not a crit, but it is 8 damage.
Does he survive?
No.
Okay.
Just barely no. Between like armor and hull trauma, that is just like
just enough.
Just barely enough.
All right.
Like so you kind of clip it and take 1 wing off, and it spins out and crashes into the ground. I mean, at this point, you guys are well past the boundary of the town. Anyway, as like this kind of chase has been going on, but this you no longer have this interceptor on your tail.
I think we do Jerry's plan. We kind of move over to the kind of park near that site we went to save Dev.
Okay.
And we have the motorcycle drive you over here ASAP and then try and get foe.
Okay.
I don't know what's going on, so my only logical thought process is to go try to get it right into space.
So we wait for a little while, have the motorcycle drive to us, and it shows up empty. Because you went to get a ship for somewhere else? Is that what's happening?
I mean, like, he wouldn't know that you were sending the bike.
That's fair.
So
That's totally fair.
Well, let's just see what happens. I somewhere else in the space station, it's on some other dock.
Okay.
Scope out for convincible.
Roll.
He's looking
roll
for a
charm.
dummy. He's looking for someone
You
who's
just
got
need
the big
need
dumb.
somebody to give you a ride back to Tatooine.
Or just into space somewhere. If I see the
Just give me anywhere in space.
Imperial ship around.
Yeah, space is awful big though.
That is
Yeah, true that.
Yeah, just a regular difficulty. Charm check.
Yikes.
That's with 2.
Orog. Probably going to
regular
be
is
pissed.
purple?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It's like a medium check or whatever.
Oh, I see. 2 advantages.
2 advantages.
Chat up with somebody and then make a good friend. But
Yeah.
he or she does not give me a ride.
Yeah, like it's like you can't find anybody to give you a free ride
No.
into space.
I don't really have any money.
You have 10 credits?
I have 10 credits cash, and I have 200 something credits in debt.
But
I think they trade for 10 credits and your paws hold slug throw at this point.
They do all seem to be. I mean, yeah, they do seem to enjoy talking to you, but
I offer 10 credits.
nope. No.
Then I guess I just walk away.
we'll come back for you on the planet at some point, I'm sure.
Yeah. Also, Erickson, we gotta take care of our friends.
You get us back to the hut. I'll go downstairs and clean things up. So I'm going to be pulling helmets off the 2 troopers and coup de grace both of them.
Okay.
I'm going to put... How many cells are there retrofit into this thing?
3 or 4?
They're carbonite maker, because they're thinking we could just freeze them in carbonite?
No. There's just containment cells.
Okay. Said 4?
I think there's 4.
Okay. I'll put all...
Should you take away any, like, communication devices?
Yeah, no, I'm going through all their... I'm, like, stripping them down to just their attire and nothing more. 1 officer in a cell, 1 officer in a cell opposite, and then one of the cells I'll throw all the dead bodies into. Just to keep them out of the way, and, like, all the equipment. I'll look through all of what everybody has. And... What all is there?
I can actually, by the rules, I can actually tell you that. Those are regular stormtroopers, not these guys. Heavy blaster rifles, vibro knives.
I want one of those vibro knives.
Some frag grenades.
How many frag grenades?
4 total.
Take, like, 3 frag nades and a vibro knife.
Stormtrooper armor. A couple of utility belts. Power packs for their blaster rifles. And the officers would each have a blaster pistol.
Okay. What's the criminal thing? So we will look through the goods and take what we want from them. Is the laminate of the Purge Troopers different or just different color?
Mostly just different color.
Okay. It's more of an intimidation thing. I don't think we really want to wear Stormtrooper armor. That's probably a bad idea. Unless we...
Pick me another charm check. Same difficulty.
Okay. I suppose I could just keep asking different people.
Until one either kills you or says yes.
Oh yeah, to some degrees it's just
or says yes, then kills you. When you sleep and diddle you.
3 successes, 2 threats.
Empire military transport agrees to take.
You do find a guy, a spacer who is headed for Tatooine anyway. But he spends the whole flight talking about this shootout between like Imperial Inquisitors and a Mandalorian, and then how somebody stole a ship, and he gives you the descriptions of these well, it gives you a whole bunch of descriptions. Like it's kind of well, I heard it was a Bothan who was this tall, it's like it's 2 guys, it's a pilot, a co-pilot, just like going back and forth with like increasingly insane stories of like who it was that stole the ship from the Inquisitors, on and on and on and on. But one of the descriptions you get, they don't seem to notice as they're giving talking about one of the descriptions that they give sounds a lot like you. It's like, I heard the Inquisitors are looking for a guy who's like 6'6", and he's like built like a truck, and he's got a good looking, and it's like wow, what's this over here? This is a really interesting panel on this ship here.
Haas is just like sitting in a corner trying not to say anything or draw attention.
I might be trading my blaster carbon in for one of those heavy blasters.
If they allow, I do bring.
Hey, you know what? Before we go to Tatooine, Erickson, we need to go.
If that's even possible.
Well, I think the bike just showed up there.
Oh, is the
right?
bike still working?
Like
oh.
They sent it to pick you up, and it just comes back without
you didn't get on it, so
like,
we just had it drive to us and then just loaded it onto the ship and flew off with it. I waited for you to hopefully get on it, and then mind controlled it to come over to us. So
I wasn't sure if you actually did that or Okay, cool.
You had your chance.
I didn't know, okay?
Um,
I don't know. I was kind of wondering what happened if I just got stranded on that planet for a while. Just make friends with the mayor or something.
just become a local. So you'll essentially get back like a day after they do.
Okay.
Anything you guys are doing on the flight back, or just heading straight back to Oddlaw?
Trying to not make any eye contact with the officers. I don't want them to see what I look like. And I will try and repair the whatever he shot.
Okay.
What difficulty of a mechanics check is it?
Do you have tools and stuff?
I do. I have,
So
I
yeah,
have my
it'll just be an
backpack.
average difficulty check.
Okay. And I am good at mechanics. 2 success and an advantage.
Okay. Yeah, you're able to get it patched up.
Nice.
It wasn't a super vital system. It's not like you guys were like moments away from exploding or anything. It wasn't that vital, but it was probably a good idea to get it patched up.
I just fly us back, and I'm just mumbling to myself about how much Haas is an idiot for not getting on the bike.
I don't know. He's resourceful. I'm sure he'll find a good way back.
He'll find a way back, but God
Oh,
damn
actually,
it.
there's only.
It might be on the lap of a Gamorrean, but he'll find a way back.
It doesn't really matter since the fight's over, but it actually, you guys were actually at 15.
I mean, at least our debts will be paid.
Instead of Fadach. Yeah, landing at Orog's like palace, he seems quite thrilled
Right?
about his
I'm gonna
about his
say
new acquisition.
there are 2. Also on the way back, I would like to like sweep the ship for any hidden compartments or anything like that that might have. something
Make
out of it.
I'm gonna have to.
Sorry, I wanted to do that. I forgot to say that before you.
Okay. Let me figure out exactly what difficulty of a check that is going to be.
Do these heavy blaster rifles have slings?
Yeah.
Good, because that makes their cumbersome quality go down by 1, so I can actually use it. Because otherwise, I'd have to be brawnier to use it. What kind of roll is?
Of course, they don't put that in this rule book. They would only put it in this rule book for some reason. That's on the other side of this huge lore section. There we go.
I can see you.
You are going to be making a perception check with 4.
4 difficulty. Okay. Not super likely here. Oh, not that.
I know
Because I
I'm
just have
piloting right now, but could I also
Unlikely.
see any like logs or something?
a success, but
on-
3 threats. Do the officers see me find whatever I find? How? That's so lucky that I was
I
successful
mean,
at that.
yes. Why not? That's a decent threat.
What do I find?
You find a smuggling compartment in the cargo bay.
Okay. Which is where they're at. Unfortunate.
Yes, which is where they're at. Where you find you're not really sure what they are. You've never seen them before. They're like just like most of them are kind of cubes about yay big. They seem technological or faintly holographic or something to some capacity.
Okay.
But fiddling with them, you can't get them to do anything.
Okay.
There seems to some of them seem quite old. Some of them seem relatively new.
All right.
There's probably a dozen of them.
Okay.
So I come on over the comm and I just go, did you
Cubes.
find anything?
I'm going to put them all in my backpack. And I will come back up and I'm going to say, I found some weird cubes, but we shouldn't tell the HUD about it. We should look into that on our own. I don't trust him with whatever they are. I'll show you them when we land. But just keep this between us, eh?
Yeah. Can I roll to see if there was like any holotapes or anything strewn about the...
Yeah, you can just roll essentially a perception check to search through the ship. Or the ship's systems for stuff like that.
Yeah. Is there a difficulty or just...
It'll be... Well, we'll make it hard. But it'll kind of depend on how much... Like, you'll get different amount of information depending on what.
2 success, 2 threats.
Okay. Any, like, just going through, like, ship records and stuff like that, this is an experimental craft. It seems to have been intended as a, primarily like a courier vessel, like a specialty courier vessel for the, it seems like for the Inquisitorius. And it was sort of performing in that task when it was hijacked out of a refueling station by Marco Vuress, who then just began, like, modifying it and painting it and stuff like that.
Well, it looks like we found why there were these Inquisitors attacking, trying to get the ship back.
Makes some sense.
Yeah, and that's about all you get. There aren't really a lot of other records here or any security recordings or anything like that.
Yeah. Alright.
It's more interesting if I don't. That doesn't have a lot of fun here.
So, arriving back at Oddlord's palace with no idea of whether the third member of your party is alive or not at this point.
Mm-hmm.
You guys are able to land at since he has an open landing bay. You guys are able to land the ship there. He is quite overjoyed to have this thing, since it's unique and obviously experimental. He seems to imply that once he's done with the other ship that he's working on,
this is the next project.
This is his next project. I mean, he's sure that, like, anything he doesn't use will be valuable on the black market. He's sure the Rebel Alliance will pay for a technical readout of a experimental Imperial ship. Like, he's just, like...
He's excited.
He's all about it, and he's, like, essentially going to immediately begin sort of tearing into it and see if he can figure out...
before you go in there are 2 officers in a cell in the bottom, Imperial officers, as well as the dead bodies of 4 further Imperial troopers.
He's like, yeah, whatever.
Whatever you want to do with the officers. Ideally, they did see us, so we'd prefer if you just disposed of them. But if you do what you're gonna do,
you'll figure something out. He does mention that does go puts a significant dent in your debts, and in another day or 2 he may have another job for you.
In the meantime, we need to get a hold of our
How
friend.
much did you go to my deck? Because I was only 1,800 credits in debt.
I think the concept is that we are a good bit more in theoretical debt than our literal debt as well.
Yeah, than just the debt you accrued buying equipment.
Mm-hmm. There's further debt for other things.
Okay.
That's a more loose number. That's not necessarily a specific number.
Okay.
Yeah, and you guys are allowed to... He sort of...
Shoes us.
Shoes you all out so he can play with his new toy.
So, Jerry...
And then, yeah, you show up like a day later, just like...
Do you want to do a little weapon upgrade?
Sure.
because you can replace your blaster rifle with the heavy blaster rifle. Do you have at least 2 brawn?
Yeah.
I would assume so.
I would hope, yeah. Because if they have cumbersome 3, which means you can't, it upgrades the difficulty unless you have at least a brawn of 3, unless it has a sling. If it has a sling that you can use and it reduces the cumbersome quality by 1, so we can both use it with a brawn of 2.
Okay.
So statistically, if you're ready to write it down and kind of, if you want to replace your blaster rifle with it, I'll tell you what
definitely.
it does. So the heavy blaster, it's going to be damage 10,
Okay.
crit 3,
Still long range.
still long range, encumbrance 6, and HP 4.
Okay. And then I still can attach my bipod mount to that.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
What does that do?
I have, +1 hit point. +1 HP.
The bipod mount does?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you can swap it over. Do you mind if I put your blaster rifle in our like group of stuff that we have left over?
Yeah.
I'll put it in there and then we can sell stuff and divvy money up as we see fit, I suppose.
You can also throw my combat knife with it too.
'Kay.
'Cause now that I have the vibro knife, I don't need the combat knife.
Do you have a blaster pistol? Oh, he gone.
You go.
No, I'm here.
Do you have a blaster pistol
Yes.
already? Okay. And I'll pocket the other one. Is there any way to use Stormtrooper laminate armor in a way that wouldn't make it obvious you're wearing Stormtrooper laminate armor?
Not
Not really.
really. I mean, you could repaint it or only wear pieces of it,
Mm-hmm.
but it's still, at least to a lot of people, it's still going to be relatively obvious that like that came off a Stormtrooper.
And that might cause trouble. It's probably for the best to avoid doing that. In the couple days, do either of us... Let's wait for him to get back. He probably knows somebody we can talk to about the
He
cubes.
would get back the next day.
Okay. I would like to try and go in the meantime while waiting for him to get back to try and sell some weapons. I'm going to go to some black market vendor and just kind of unload some
Make
excess
a
weapons.
Streetwise to find one.
You want to come with me there, Mr. Baxas?
Yeah, sure.
Do you want to make the streetwise? I feel like you're a more streetwise fella than I am.
Yeah, let me roll a streetwise to find us a vendor. Normal difficulty?
Yeah, you're on Tatooine.
That's fair.
Can I,
1 success, 1 threat, 1 triumph.
Oh,
we'll wait till these guys are done. I have an idea.
Yeah, you can definitely. I mean, the threat is that they recognize that these are definitely like Imperial. Quite a few of these are Imperial issue, but you can definitely find a vendor. So what all are you trying to sell?
I think we probably want to keep a couple blaster carbines just as backup weapons. So one, do you want to sell your blaster rifle as well?
Yeah, because I'll probably just use the heavy blaster rifle from now on.
Okay. So one blaster carbine, one blaster rifle, a combat knife, a blaster pistol, and a light blaster pistol.
Okay.
And 12 cubes, whatever he can give me for them. Just kidding. Just kidding.
Hey, what would you give me for 12 story-related items?
Those can't leave your inventory,
Yeah, I
you idiot.
was about to say. Do they have the story item tag so they can't leave your inventory? Oh, damn it. Okay, so a light blaster pistol, a blaster pistol,
Yep. Combat knife.
a blaster carbine, a blaster rifle, and a combat knife.
Yes.
To give you a grand total of 1,135 credits.
So 1,135. So take 400 credits. I'll take 400 and he gets the scraps. So that's, 335 left over? You said 135, right? Mm-hmm. So when you get here, we're giving you 335 credits and saying that's what a third of it was.
I'll see if I can pull off something here with my sweet charisma. Maybe it won't matter.
And yeah, I will go sell those. I mean, maybe do some shopping with our newfound. Oh, we have some money that we could pay into our debt. Time to go shopping.
I go and talk to the guys on the ship. I try to tell them that the slug thrower pistol is incredibly valuable.
It's a rare model.
It's a rare model that was only an experimental one or something like that. I don't know.
Make a hard deception check.
Hard is 3.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, this isn't gonna probably end up good. 1 failure, 2 threats.
They're not buying it.
And they're
not buying it.
They're not buying it, and they're not buying it.
Damn, okay.
They see right through your charade.
I with all my charm and coercion, I have no deceptive powers. Well, if I show up, then I show up. Then I find you guys, and I'm like, hey, it's me, that guy.
Oh, you survived.
Here's 335 credits.
Wow, thanks for giving me an exact third.
Anytime. It's a weird number because we did the math and it was exactly a third to you.
335?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll use that to pay off my debt, I guess. With my weapons debt. So now I can get...
I would just hold on to it as your actual spending money.
Yeah, just
because your debt's being paid off by like doing
bad
jobs.
work.
Okay. Can I buy a shock thing now? How much that was?
Oh, the like shock gloves?
Yeah. It's pretty fun.
Shock gloves.
Yeah.
That's gone too far. Shock gloves or 300?
I'm gonna buy some shock gloves.
Okay. You would find somebody around here who sells them.
Do I,
Let's see.
maybe I can do a sweet trade-in with my slug thrower pistol.
It'll take 50 credits off if you want to trade in your slug thrower pistol.
Okay. So 250?
Mm-hmm.
What do you have the stats for the shock glove right there?
I don't at the moment.
They're just brawl, so it's just the damage you do on brawl. They don't get the +1 like brass knuckles do, but they have stun 3, which.
Hey, Jerry.
Yeah.
Are we able to buy non-rare armor,
Okay, so
like
you can
attachments?
those you can spend those not successes. What are they called?
The advantages?
Yeah.
Or whatever.
You can spend advantages to activate its like stun quality. And when you do, it inflicts strain damage equal to the weapon's stun rating, which is 3. So if you're using them in melee combat, then you can like, on top of like the regular brawl damage that you can have them do extra strain damage as well, which against like minion enemies will just knock them out in most cases.
Are we able to buy like weapon attachments that are low rarity at the cost?
Yeah, low rarity stuff.
Because it's a 1 rarity. You should buy a sight for your heavy blast rifle. It's 250 credits, and it'll make it so that you reduce long and extreme range difficulty checks by 1. So your long range will be 2 purple instead of 3 purple.
Okay, yeah, I'm definitely going to add.
And it takes 2 of your hard points. So with it and the sling, you only have 1 hard point left. But that's still it's very good for you since you're kind of the more snipery sort.
So it takes away how many hard points?
1. It takes away 2. It uses 2. It doesn't take away, but like uses 2 of your hard points. But it gets it so it's like 1 less difficulty for your long ranged attacks.
Okay.
So your long will be 2 and your extreme range will be 3 instead of 3 and 4.
Okay, so now I have 1 hard point left.
Wait, you said you had a bipod? What did the bipod mount do?
That's mostly for
Decrease weapons cumbersome rating by 2. From a prone or crouch or prone position. Okay, because you had that one as well. So you don't have any hard points left, but you have no It reduces the cumbersome rating by 2. So that would mean that if you're prone or crouched, you wouldn't even need the sling to be able to use that weapon.
It is still a pretty solid weapon, yes. You killed that man real good.
I did splatter a few brains today.
And even if you hadn't killed him, he would have been disoriented for a while, but he was dead, so it didn't matter.
And I disoriented him.
Ow. I don't think I'll spend on anything. I just found something for Jerry.
So you said that was 250 for the sight?
Yeah, it was 250 to get telescopic optic.
Okay, I have 150 credits left.
Okay.
You can definitely just sell a bag of guns. Hey, you interested in buying a bag of guns?
Hey kid, want a bag of guns?
Sure.
So he's back. Glad you made it out of there all right. That got dicey. Glad to not have that ship anymore in our possession. Come to this dark corner with me and let me show you something. You ever seen anything like this before? And I show him the cubes.
Make me a lore check.
As a cultured individual, like yourself is more world traveled than me.
I am the experienced
Worlds
age
traveled.
of 32.
Looking at the cube, because I want to look at the cube too, I got 1 success.
Make a hard lore check.
Okay, let's try this again.
You need to remember that this system, you need to specify the difficulty of the check because that's how the rolls work. It's not like opposing
was that?
rolls.
2 successes.
Ah.
The harder the check, the more the success.
Hard for me too.
I have decided I have no idea what this is, so I'm not going to make the lore check. That's why I'm asking them.
2 threats.
2 threats?
I don't know what it is, but it's scary.
You don't know what it is, but you're pretty sure it's a bomb.
Don't push it. Don't push any buttons on that thing.
I don't know where you know this information, Baxas, but You think this might be a holocron?
Like a Jedi holocron?
Yeah.
Probably where I know this is
Yikes.
because I had family members who were Jedis. Traitorous Jedis. That's part of the backstory for my character.
Everybody's just got Jedi family members in this universe.
Some people have big families.
But the whole point for the backstory for my character is like he had Jedi family, but he was out. But that bloodline was outcasted from the planet in order to save favors with the Empire.
Weren't they just generals in the last war? I heard they were traitors and got killed by the Empire. That's all I know
Yeah,
about
I
them.
heard the same thing. I don't know. I don't know how true that is.
So maybe this. What would this be useful for them for? Does it help them track them? I don't like the idea of selling to the Empire, but we could sell to somebody who'd sell to the Empire.
I don't know the use for them, you know?
Kind of makes sense to why Inquisitors were after this guy if he had these. Why did this Mandalorian have these cubes? I wonder.
Well, going through the files, the ship was former Inquisitor carrier, so...
That's true. They had it hidden there and were maybe... Huh. Interesting. Very interesting. So when he stole it, maybe these were on board?
Maybe that's what they were looking for?
I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't know, man. It's bad stuff.
It seems...
I don't like this.
I don't know, man. It seems threatening. Yeah, I don't like this either. I don't really want this to be about with us here. But that being said, I don't know how much choice we have. Yeah, I think we keep a hold of them and don't give them back to the Empire. I don't care much for Jedi or know much about them, but anything that the Empire wants that badly, I don't want them to have.
Yeah, I don't know much about these. I just know what they've been called, and I honestly don't care what happens to them.
I mean, we might as well sell them.
But if we sell them, it ends up back in Imperial hands eventually.
Yep.
Well, guess we're getting buried.
Guess we're what?
Getting buried with them.
Well,
And they'll
guess we'll die.
do some space age treasure hunting.
How much was the Gank communication implant?
Oh, it was cheap, wasn't it?
It was pretty cheap if I remember, and I can get it for extra cheap. If you guys will let me put a microchip in your brain.
Supplements? Lords of
I don't
Narragansett?
want no gank in
No, it'll
my tank.
keep you from being able to get
I
the
don't want no
coronavirus.
gank in my tank. Oh, that was
a joke.
It's $2.50.
I don't believe in books. So, I can get them for half. I get half off. So I can get like the pieces and put it together. So can I spin $2.50 and get 2 gank implants? And I will do that. And I'm going to ask you guys to let me install something in your brain. Trust me.
What?
I'm going to say that I have bought 2 implants that I can install in both of you, and we'll be able to speak inside of each other's heads.
Hey man, whatever's best for the team.
It'll be very good for the team. You can trust me.
This ain't gonna be one of them situations where you control me like that goddamn motorbike.
No. Presence 1. Presence 1.
It is an awkwardly long pause before he says no.
It's not like an awkwardly long pause. It's just enough of a pause to give you pause. I already bought it. You can trust me.
I'm not concerned.
You're not concerned?
No.
I mean, these are super... I really do think these are a super cool piece of kit.
It is super.
Fine, you can put it in my head.
So I'm going to install Gonk. Gonk. Dang it. I'm going to turn them both into Gonk droids to gank comm links inside of both their heads.
Gonk.
this mean I don't need a regular comlink?
It does not. So gank comlinks only work with other gank comlinks. So the only way you can... It's like we can communicate to each other inside of our heads now, but only if you have a... Like, you can't communicate from a gank comlink to a normal comlink or vice versa. Gank comlinks can go to gank comlinks.
Gosh dang, gank Apple.
They're putting...
With their
This, I think...
exclusivity.
This helps avoid the problem we ran into at the end of our last mockery. For installing them, don't I have to like make a roll? Do I have to make a roll to do that?
I think
To not
there
hurt
is-
them?
I think
You
there
just
is a
kill.
role for implanting cybernetics, but you know what? I'll go check.
I don't know
You
how
just
to
die
do.
from
Also, you can only have a number of cybernetics, I think, equal to your brawn, unless you're special like me. I'm super special.
Enhancements and replacements generally increase skills or characteristics. Not in this case. Only purchased all number cybernetic enhancements and replacements equal to brawn rating.
Here's hoping I don't cut something loose inside your brain while I'm installing these. I'm good at this, though. I'm really good at this.
Man.
Well, I guess I'm not particularly bad at this. I'm all right at it. I'll do my best.
I mean, I think it. Even I can't find the
Not
rule for it, but I think
installing
it
the
should
the
be
most
a.
confidence
Mhm.
in this.
Man,
Um,
Baxas just hasn't been the same.
I think it should be a
Gank
medical
Comlink.
check to install a.
A medical in check?
I think it would make sense for it to be a medicine check to install.
Yeah, it's not that
cybernetics.
big of a difference compared to the mechanics. I'm still good at them.
I mean, it's not. You're not worried about damaging the mechanics of the implant.
I
You're
mean,
worried about damaging the
good credits
mechanics
for
of
these.
the guy you're putting.
What's
it
the
in.
difficulty to install just to get
We'll just do normal, but like, since you're taking your time to do it,
Mm-hmm.
failure doesn't necessarily mean like
Kills them or something.
right.
Okay.
Um,
2 successes on his.
okay,
And a success and an advantage on his.
cool. You guys both have gank comm implants now. Congratulations. Welcome to being cyborgs.
This is how I got in debt. This is the gateway. Gonk implants are a gateway drug that lead to neural machine interfaces.
This is what's called a performance enhancing.
This brought to you from the normal
Cybernetic
comlink gang.
I will never be able to get back into professional smash ball again. 'cause
They're gonna
It'll
think
be-
you're cheating.
It'll be
A performance enhancing gank comlink. All right. Is that an alright place for us to call it?
Yep.
I install microchips in your brains, and I think that's where we have to call it, so I can get to this thing. Do we get any XP?
Yeah, but I'll have to figure out how much. I don't. I'll have to glance through the rules on what they
Figure out how that
recommend
works.
and stuff like that.
Okay.
Does
Cool.
our,
Well,
threshold
that was awesome. That was a ton of fun, guys.